Hi, my name is Sammi Lynn.
And I'm Tara Lynn. And we're the Shenanilynns.
This is our second episode. We shouldn't call them episodes, we should just call them videos. But second video in like our little series of videos that we're making. And we decided that we're going to call it Back Talk. Back Talk. Oh! Oh!
Now that is not because she talks back to me. FYI. Sometimes she does. She's an ornery teenager. So, speaking of ornery teenagers, our topic today...
I thought we were talking about ornery toddlers.
We are. We are talking about ornery toddlers.
I was an ornery toddler. I was so bad. So I cried about everything.
Here's, I think, why we wanted to talk about Max. Why we wanted to talk about...
do that. Every time something happens with Max, you go, oh, Max. In the last video, if you watch it, Max is walking behind us and you go, Max.
I just want you guys to know Max is with us too. But anyway, Sammi is a phenomenal teenager. She really is. She was not always quite so phenomenal. She definitely had crazy, terrible, tantrum toddler years.
Yes.
And as a parent, I had to handle them. With my husband,
yeah,
too,
by coming in my room with a trash bag and throwing away all my toys.
I feel like that's a random comment.
You did that.
We're gonna just share some stories today, and you'll hear Sammy's perspective, and then you'll hear my perspective. So Sammi, tell me about the toy situation. Why was I so mean and I came into your room and just took all your toys?
I don't know.
Obviously she learned.
I don't remember anything from when I was 2 except for you taking away my toys.
You were just 2. Like that lasted, sorry. Itchy
that lasted until I was like 9.
That lasted a long time.
And then by the time I was like a child, I just didn't have any toys.
She was messy, like crazy messy. And we lived in a house that if people came over and they had to use the restroom, they had to walk by her room and go to the bathroom or whatever the case may be. So everyone...
I did not have to walk by my room to go to the bathroom.
Anyway, they would.
They would. They just walk by my room anyways. They get lost on the way to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And stumble upon my room.
Anyway, her room was a disaster. And so I would say, Sammi, pick up your room, please, right? Like I would tell her, and I would give her more than one warning, and she wouldn't do it. So I helped her along. I literally would come in with like the big black plastic bags, and she'd be sitting, I remember one specific time, she's sitting on her bed, and I walk in and she sees the bag, and she knows why I'm there, and she just starts bawling.
That's what I was gonna say. That's all I remember is that you'd come in with a bag, and then I just start crying, and you just keep taking toys. You'd be like, you better stop crying or I'm gonna take more. And like she'd make me stop crying before she would stop taking toys away. Yeah,
anything on the floor went in the garbage bag, and I took them away.
Yeah.
So while she's feeding Max, we're gonna give a little update. You know, last time he was like gonna hurl, and so we freaked out and put him out there. So one of you, and I'm so sorry, off the top of my head, I can't remember who it is, said, hey, maybe he's allergic to chicken. What's in his food? And we have a neighbor who works for ThredUp, and so he was super crazy nice, and he brought over a bag of food and then this something that you sprinkle on top of the food, and it's supposed to help his digestion. Sidebar, but thought you might want to be interested in hearing an update on that.
I thought you might wanted to be interested in hearing an update on that.
Yeah. So the intent of taking the toys away was to give them back to her, right?
Did I ever get them back?
Not really.
Oh.
So what?
I was like, do I not remember this? Did I get them for Christmas or something?
Maybe. Like I might have given you them for Christmas.
I probably wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't. That's the whole point. But what ended up happening is we'd take the toys away, and she wouldn't really care. Like it was fine. So, and you know, kids get so many toys, friends give them more toys, or family or whatever, and so when we took the toys away, it didn't seem to affect her that much. So We ended up donating most of them.
Oh, good for us.
Which brings me to my next story about
Wow.
donating, right? So Sammy's clothes or maybe toys she didn't play with, we would donate them to a thrift shop or something like that. And how I explained that to Sammy when she was little was we were going to give them to another family. So I would say, okay, these are toys you don't play with anymore. These are clothes that don't fit you anymore. So we're going to give them to another family. And do you remember that your entire life? Like, do you remember a time when we didn't donate stuff?
No, there was always a pile that we would have in the guest bedroom of stuff that we were going to donate.
Yep.
Because we were sick of it.
Yeah, so that was forever. Well, when she was younger, she couldn't reach the sink to brush her teeth. And so we had a little step stool. And depending on the situation, like we might use that step stool in the kitchen to get something or in the garage or whatever. So once in a while, we would take the step stool.
No, it was just mine, just for teeth brushing.
That's what you thought.
That's what exactly.
So she goes into the bathroom one day to brush her teeth and her stool isn't there. And she's hysterical. Like she said, she cried over everything.
I was always upset.
Always, like always cried. And so she comes to me and she's bawling and she's asked where her step stool is. And I said, it's probably in the bathroom. And she's like, it's not in the bathroom. And I say, honey, it's somewhere. Maybe your dad used it for something. And her response was, no, it's not. I think you gave it to another family. So she thought I stole her step stool and gave it to another family.
You would just give away my stuff.
Yeah, I understand how you came to that conclusion.
So I don't know. I just figured it was gone. You give stuff to other families. Santa Claus is real, y'all.
If someone young is watching this, it's maybe time to turn it off.
That sounds inappropriate.
It does. It's not inappropriate though. Here are the reasons why Sammy knows that there's a Santa Claus. So she had a few really, really good reasons. So what's one?
My parents would never wake up in the middle of the night to give me presents.
I know, right? We value our sleep very much.
Like, that's just ridiculous.
And she knows that.
Why would they do that?
So there's no way that would ever happen.
Definitely no way.
What else?
I got moon sand. Mom would never buy me moon sand. Never.
She'd been asking, I don't know if you guys know what moon sand is, but I feel like it's messy. Like sand can get everywhere.
It's like sand that sticks to itself really easily.
Anything that was messy, I wasn't a huge fan of it. So she'd been asking for months, if not years, for moon sand. It was a really
wanted moon sand.
It was a really long time. And so one Christmas morning, she woke up and under the tree was moon sand.
So there's no way that, like, that's it. Like, you know, definitely a Santa Claus.
Obviously, because there is no way I would buy you moon sand.
Never. I saw Santa, everybody. End of story.
That's not the end of the story.
Okay.
Terry's inside, Sammy and I are in the truck. This guy is pumping gas. And his car...
It is Santa Claus.
His car...
No! That doesn't come until later!
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Why can't you just let me tell the story?
Go, tell the story.
So I see this man and it is Santa. Like his belly was there, his beard was there, he was all there. And then I was inside with Dad and he winked at me.
You're a horrendous storyteller. Okay, so she's at the gas station. She sees him at the other end of the aisle and she goes, Santa. Like really light.
I did?
Yeah, you came back into the truck and you were so excited and you told me. This is what she said she did. She was at the end of the line and she goes, Santa. And he looked at her and winked at her. So she was like, that was Santa. Like,
that was Santa.
He heard her.
Okay. And then I went back to the car and
told me the story.
I told Mom, and then Santa drove by and yep, it was definitely Santa because he had stickers on his car. Santa stickers. Santa had Santa stickers on his car. He was on vacation. in Missouri.
She asked me, she's like, why would he be here? And I said, well, it's not Christmas. He needs to go on vacation too. Why wouldn't he want to go to the Lake of the Ozarks?
I got moon sand, right? Like Santa will give me anything I ask for. I asked for moon sand and I got it. Well, you know what? This particular year, I really wanted a goldfish.
Oh, okay.
And this lady right here said, no, you can't have a goldfish. I said, fine, I'll just ask Santa for it. And you know what I got?
You got a goldfish.
You know what I got on Christmas morning?
Fish.
A fish nightlight. A fish nightlight. And I come down and I was like, this is not a goldfish. What was Santa thinking? And then Mom waltzes in and she's like, oh, Santa knew that I didn't want you to have a goldfish. So he got you this so you can look at the pretty fish while you fall asleep at night. And that's kind of where I was like, really, Mom? We went to Mexico for Christmas. I said, oh my gosh, Mom, do you think Santa's gonna find us in Mexico? And, you know, Santa had found us at Nana's house.
At the lake.
She found us, Santa's a he, at the lake. We went on a cruise and I came home and Santa still came. Like, Santa knows all. He knows where everybody is. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Santa's gonna find us in Mexico. Of course. And Mom goes, you know, I don't think Santa's gonna get you any presents in Mexico.
And I was right, he did it.
He did.
I maybe wasn't quite so convincing.
Also, you know what I thought was a little suspicious? I was just such a smart kid. I noticed that Santa, you know, his elves make presents. Make the
I know, I think I know where you're gonna go.
And I would always get stuff from Justice. And I was like, Santa, you cheater. Like, you just went shopping for me? Everyone else gets their presents made and you just get me a body wash from Justice? And so that was quite suspicious.
It's really difficult to say no to a toddler and hold to it. And there are two major instances that I can remember.
She's so proud.
I really am. Like, I'm so proud that I was so mean to you. So one was we were in Walmart or Target, something like that, with a friend. So my friend was with me and we'd moved away, so she didn't get to see us very often. And we're in the shoe department, and it was back when those light up shoes, like when you walk, they light up. Those were really popular.
Those. I saw some lady the other day who had those shoes.
Like an adult?
Like an old lady. Like if Nana had light up shoes. How cute would that be?
Sammy loved them too. And
I just want to preface before, I've never had a pair.
And
ever.
She had an opportunity to get some. We had them in the cart. So we picked out the shoes in the cart, and I told her not to do something. It was probably at checkout, right? So at checkout, it's chaos for kids, and there's candy everywhere, and blah, blah, blah. And I think I told her not to touch something, and she did. And I told her, if you touch that again or whatever, you're not getting the shoes, because that was like her special gift for being good at shopping. And she did it anyway.
Oh.
So I grabbed the shoes and I gave them to the cashier and I said, we don't need these. And she like freaks out, tears, crying, tantrum. And my friend is there and she's like, oh, get her the shoes. I'll pay for the shoes. Get her the shoes. You can't not let her have the shoes. She loves those shoes so much and she doesn't have a pair of shoes. And blah, blah, blah. Like, she was about as bad as Sammy was. Did you get the shoes?
What do you guys think? Did I get the shoes?
She did not get the shoes.
I didn't get the shoes.
Nope. And then another one where I stayed strong. We're at McDonald's, and again, I'm meeting a friend who does daycare. And so there's other kids there, and I come in with Sammy. There was about, I don't know, 6 to 9 months when I stayed home with Sammy when she was little. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you at McDonald's. And so we're sitting at the table, and she has nuggets or whatever kid meal. And she asks, can she go into the playroom? And I think some of the other kids were in there, probably. And I said, no, you have to finish eating before you can go in there. So she gets up and goes to the play place. And what did I do?
Your potato sacked me.
I go and I grab her and I pick her up and she's kicking and like swatting and crying and screaming, and I can't get her to settle down. So I just pick her up and throw her over my shoulder like a potato sack and walk outside, say goodbye to my friend, and walked out of McDonald's with her kicking and screaming like that all the way to the car.
You've done that multiple times. Not just at McDonald's.
That's the one I remember most.
She would potato sack you more than just that.
If you guys have toddlers right now and you're dealing with this today, there's hope. Look. She was horrible. She cried about everything. When you cry now, you have a legit reason to cry. Like, you cried about everything.
Sometimes. Can I tell my story about my birthday? So it's my birthday, right? I'm like feeling good. I'm like, yeah, I'm 17 today. Yeah, no, this is like recent. And so I go to school, and the professor that I had at 8 a.m. that day, he gives you extra credit on any quiz. The question is like, write a question and answer it correctly. And if you answer it correctly and write a question, it could be any question.
So like,
it could be like, what's my name?
Sky blue.
Sammy.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like any question in the world.
Oh my gosh, did you get it wrong?
Shut up. And he reads them out loud, because sometimes they're funny or something. And someone put, is my birthday this weekend? Yes. And he was like, oh really, it's your birthday this weekend. Well, we have to sing you happy birthday. And so I had to sing another girl happy birthday on my birthday, and it wasn't even her birthday. But like, fine, whatever. I didn't really want them to sing me happy birthday. Like, it's not that I was like, oh no, I'm being neglected. I just like, I got upset about it for no reason, but I wasn't upset yet. So I go to my other classes for the day, and then I'm driving home, and I just start crying. And I'm like, it wasn't even her birthday! It's my birthday! And I'm just crying. And then I decided, you know, I can't go home like this, because Nana was living with us. And so I just kept driving, and I passed a school, and there was a sign that said like home of the Ravens or something. I drove like 2 blocks, right? And then there's another sign that said like, go
Eagles
or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, are they the Ravens or are they the Eagles? And I just start, like, I was pretty calm before I saw that. And then I just started downpouring like tears again. And I call Mom, and I'm just like, Mom, it's my birthday, and they sang her happy birthday. I don't know if they're the Ravens or the Eagles. And she's just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, honey? And I went home, and Nana wasn't even here.
I'm kind of bored with this video.
Okay, that's the cue. We're done. Hope that you enjoyed it. We'll cut out all of the boring parts, apparently, because it wasn't very interesting. Not interesting enough to keep her excited to keep talking. Please thumbs up the video, even if you didn't like it. And subscribe down below, because we are super fun.
I hope you enjoyed our story.
Yeah, I hope you